Okay, Twitch and YouTube are going.
So basically, what had happened was I got roped into unexpectedly babysitting three small children under the age of 8 yesterday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I am so tired and sunburned.
So you don't still have the kids, you just start tired.
Mm-hmm. No, if I still had the children around, I would not be here.
That's what I figured. I was like, okay, she got roped into, but she's still gonna be there? Okay.
Yesterday, it was yesterday. Like, yeah.
I didn't catch that part in the messages. Ooh, man, I am right there beside you. I got maybe 3 hours of good sleep.
Well, let's get through this.
We will do this. Yes. All right, let's do our roll for advantage and see how on topic we're gonna stay today. It's an 8. The chances are not good.
Well, not that bad either. Like, I think if
Good.
I think like one would be we are totally out of topic, yeah.
Yes.
So
We are not doing good. Could have been at least over a 10 there.
Between 1 and 20, though, 8 is not the best.
No.
Both very tired. I think we are here in disadvantage right now.
We are definitely at disadvantage, yes. Alright. You can go ahead and do the intro. Let's go. Olaram, Sukhoi Garba Jatetor, Nervode. This is your host, Kadale Kabor, speaking. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 6 of Under the Helm, The Way of the Mandalore, Keepers of the Way official podcast. Joined by co-host off-camera, at least, Solikan Adatika. Let's go ahead and get started. We are still in March, so we are still on 10 and 3. Mandalorian should never be the one to initiate violence. And we are already at disadvantage because I forgot to pull up the tenant in Discord. And I cannot read the OBS screen. That is too small for me. Tenant 3. Alright. A Mandalorian must never be the aggressor in a given situation. They must retain their self-control and mastery of their actions at all times. Violence includes the acts of physical violence, rape, theft, direct threats, etc. This means a Mandalorian should only react with violence against violence first perpetrated by another. This said, a Mandalorian must restrain themselves to only use the amount of force necessary to end the threat, and must not allow innocents to be harmed if his or her actions by his or her actions, if at all possible. Insults and verbal assaults, other than direct threats, will not be considered enough cause for violence. Likewise, a Mandalorian must refrain from making threats or jests about violence upon those who have committed no act or made direct threats of violence. A Mandalorian stands prepared for war, but does not seek it out. This is the way, Ibik Runi. We are the warrior who farms, not the farmer who goes to war.
Yes. Basically, that means is we have a capacity for violence, but we choose not to.
We temper it down as best as possible. We are the iron in the smelter. We are not the... Oh man, I don't know where I was going with that analogy.
I don't know either.
Does you hate it when an analogy blows up in your face like a claymore?
Yep, I would have preferred the Claymore at that point.
I will be back in a second. I have
Trying to find other ways to say we are ready to take action, but we do not take action unless needed.
That's some John Wayne shit right there.
Yes.
Very true. Which, fun fact, I know I've said this before, this is going to be like the Lord of the Rings thing where every time someone says John Wayne, I was like, hey, did you know his grandson is a stand-in for the Mando?
Yes.
That's actually kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie.
That is.
Yeah, you can kind of tell like certain shots whenever Din Djarin's walking. Like you can definitely see the John Wayne walk if you're looking for it.
Got you.
Because his son walks very similarly to how he did.
Was it his son or I thought it was grandson.
Maybe it's grandson.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
A direct lineage of John Wayne is a stand-in for Mando's in armor.
Pardon me.
Oh, you're fine, dude.
Okay.
Because I'm just like that too right now. Oops. Go ahead and take the tenant off screen. Put the cameras back on screen. There we go. Yay! You can see my face again on stream.
please do not unsubscribe. Seeing his face, I know it's crazy.
I got the tired Solicon chuckle. Okay, I'm good. Escalation of force is another. Where we don't want to go running into a situation, guns drawn, pew-pews drawn, and they're just bringing fists. We always want to start out trying to de-escalate the situation rather than just going in. It's like, oh, violence is being perpetrated. Let's join the violence. Yes, it's very Mando, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to help the innocents and de-escalate.
I'm just saying, if you use freedom seeds and pacify the situation, there's no longer violence.
That is true, but we kind of need the freedom seeds to have been possibly flying at that point.
Pew 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 pew.
That would be the time that we return fire. If your life is in and I guess it's disclaimer time. No one here is lawyers. If you need legal advice or try to use this in your defense, it's not going to work. We are not lawyers. Please do not use us as the example of, hey, I was told to do this by these people. No, you were not.
Message.
What did you say, Dirge? I only caught half of that.
I said message.
Message, yes. Put the message out there. Sorry, squirrel moment. Jan, you better not be barking back there, young lady.
You're old and 8. It's to be expected.
With the little amount of sleep deprivation I've had, yeah. Today's gonna be a fun day. Silicon, what do you have?
Huh?
What do you have?
Words and stuff and such. A lot of what I kind of said last week, it's basically don't let something slide. Like if you see injustice happening, like, stand up for it, defend the people who are being victimized or whatnot, like defend, but it's like it's not even we're not passive, but we're not we're just so difficult.
We're not vigilantes either.
Right, we're not vigilantes, but we're not gonna just stand by and watch something happen. If we can do something to help, we will. But we are also not going to antagonize.
Very true.
So it's words are hard. So we're not passive, but we're also not the aggressor. Haha. We're someplace in between. We're not passive, and we're not the aggressor in a.
We are passively aggressive.
Yes, I am passively aggressive always.
I mean, it's a good way to not get bothered. It's like just have that demeanor of "don't fuck with me."
Right. It's like it's not quite allowing yourself to become the victim, but it is giving the other person the opportunity to change their ways. Like if they hit you, look, dude, you don't want this. Don't do this. They hit you again, well, okay then. It's time to...
They're not going to get past the first one. If they hit me, it's okay. You have chosen violence. I will reply with self-defense. Because at that point, that is assault and battery. With that first strike.
I was thinking, like, because sometimes, like, if somebody's, like, in the heat of the moment, like, sometimes...
Now, does that mean I'm just going to go full no bars hold? Probably not. I'm probably going to try to incapacitate them so they can't hit me a second time. But I'm not going to let them get that free second swing. They get one, and that's it. You be quiet. Yeah, there's people out there. They are allowed to be out there. Good girl. Yeah, you sit. I'm watching you. Always watching you. Mike Wazowski.
So what does other people in the Discord call think about the third tenant? Because brain is not at full capacity at the moment. Any thoughts?
I'm starting to get there. Caffeine from tea doing job.
Well, aren't you just?
But that does not mean it's giving me the thoughts to speak. Just waking me up.
I guess we can pivot. Like, what does that mean for social media? Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Figure out what this means for social media, because a lot of people like me go onto Twitter and just start fights because it's fun, in my opinion. Is that what I should be doing as a keeper? Probably not.
But is it fun? Yeah.
It is fun.
That is not what I see on my Twitter, so yeah. Your and my Twitters are probably 1,000% different. Because guess what? I'm a guy, so they push a whole other side on my feed.
You'd be surprised some of the stuff I see, but yeah, like, I think, because in most people's minds, social media is not the same as real life, which is correct. It is not the same as real life, but there are real life implications and consequences for the things you say and do online. And with this new online culture, though, those things are not as well established as they would like in real life. Like in real life, somebody comes up, punches you in the face, self defense, you do your thing. But if somebody says something to you online, like you can't physically punch them, but you can verbally punch them in the face. Or you can report their tweets or their messages or things like that. You can really mess up somebody's life online if you're not careful.
Cyberbullying is a very, very serious thing.
It is. And it's not something that we as a society, as a whole society, not just in America, but like all across the world, we haven't had enough time to properly, I think, tackle the online issues that are a thing. Like, people are trying to, but it is much more difficult because the internet hasn't been around for more than like 30 years, if that. I know, right? I know.
Oh, my back!
I know. Just saying that.
What have I lost? Because I went to check on something.
Oh, we're talking about how Tenet 3 applies to social media.
I.
Well, it's hard to attack somebody through social media, like physically.
Physically, yes, but verbally, oh yeah. You can bully the crap out of people online.
Yeah, but if we like talking about, that the verbal attack is not, if it's not supposed to, if we do not supposed to act like verbal attack is, verbal.
That's what we're talking about, is how do you not physically respond, but how would you verbally respond to that?
Yeah, maybe the topic of words could be like some kind of a threat if somebody can destroy your life, like throwing some baseless accusations or something. But you still should, respond accordingly, I think.
Yes, but you're not going to respond with physical violence to that.
Yeah.
You can, like Solikon was saying, you can report their tweet, you can report their post, you can report their comments.
Yes, and to be fair, with social media, sometimes the person who is like, offending you is on the other side of the planet. So even if somebody wants to respond in a different way, how? There's no possible way.
I mean, there is. It's just you'd have to expel a lot of energy that I think would be unnecessary. Because that, so to give an example of someone that, like, it was kind of an acquaintance of an acquaintance that this happened to. So one person lived in the United States and one person lived in the UK. And the person that was in the UK got upset at this person that lived in the United States, and so called their local police station and had the SWAT team SWAT their home.
Ooh. What? Yeah, that's a real thing. It was a whole thing, what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Yeah, I heard about something like swatting, but I was like, what the fuck is this? Is very, very messed up idea.
It is. They're using local law enforcement to basically mete out justice for a supposed wrong.
Right, and so that's what I mean by, like,
or just for the fun of it.
Yes, and that's wrong. But that, like, there are ways that people are circumventing the fact that someone might live in a completely different country, and that is something that needs to be considered, because a phone call, like, whether you're calling internationally or not, like, that's just a phone call. But there could be very drastic consequences and results of that phone call. So it's one of those things where we as keepers, like, the tenet applies to social media, and we eventually do need to figure out how it applies. Like, so if we know that somebody, like, called SWAT on somebody else, like, how do you handle that? What do you do in that situation?
Yes, because it's still a phone call, so it's basically only
Good
words.
girl.
Any violence was perpetuated by the SWAT team, which, react without checking the facts. But oh gosh.
Yeah, and I don't know what the equivalent is for, like, other countries or whatnot for the, like, if somebody from the United States were to call, like, your local, like, constable or local law enforcement agency, like, what would that look like? Because I wouldn't know. But like that can happen. I don't know of it happening in other places. I just, because I lived in the United States, like, We call it is now a colloquial term that we use called swatting, which didn't
I
used
think
to really be a thing.
we have something like this, like some type of the you know uh, law enforcement, which is the equivalent of SWAT, but they are very rarely sent somewhere in our country.
Well, that's how it used to be for us. Like, if you got swatted, it was because you were either some sort of like
Yeah, you actually
international.
needed SWAT called on you.
Yeah, like you were some sort of international criminal, or you were part of the mob, the cartel. Like you were part of some sort of larger crime syndicate, or you were some sort of part of some sort of terror organization. Like
No, I mean they would call them on bank robbers too.
right, but like nowadays, it's become way too commonplace.
Well, not here because in our country not so many people have guns, so more or less regular police is enough in most cases. But well, there was one a few years ago. We have this weird situation where SWAT was sent after some criminal, but they mistake. They go to the wrong flat.
And that happens.
Yeah, that happens in the U.S. too, where law enforcement gets the address wrong. Someone got dyslexic, and instead of going to 8128, they go to 2881.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, the tenant talks about us not initiating, but how do we respond if it's someone we know that either perpetrated or was perpetrated by someone to called SWAT or some sort of
Well, it is an initiation of violence somewhat because you initiate that sending those guys there. So
right, but like say it wasn't us that initiated it, but someone we know. I mean, I would think that we should call, the law enforcement on that person that perpetrated that, even if it is a friend.
yes, at least say that. At least to send somebody to him and say it's not okay, because they cannot hear your arguments. But if if local police get involved and say, hey, do not play, do not call the wolf, basically, it's not necessary. Maybe
right.
it could, like,
what happens if it's another keeper?
I think if another keeper did something like that, it's kind of violation of rules. So
it's 100% violation. But who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
But
I was just going to say that.
So say someone realizes that another keeper, say we'll just do with a made up scenario. Say that Kadali found out that I called SWAT on Kando. What should Kadali do?
Ask Kando if he deserved it. Just kidding.
Oh!
Talk with Alora first, and they should decide what to do next.
Law enforcement will never discuss an ongoing investigation with someone outside of the investigation.
I don't know, but I mean, you as a person who knows, you know that somebody did it, but you are still not, don't starting to talk to the police, but you can, talk it through with other people from our group, and and later, if everybody say that okay, you have right to go to the police and tell them,
I would
I think.
I would probably have the duty of reporting Solicon to the authorities saying, hey, I found out this happened, this is who did it.
Mm-hmm.
An anonymous tip kind of thing. And then Solicon would probably get swatted in return.
Probably.
Not exactly.
But that one would be a justified swatting, not a.
Yes.
That would be them going to her apartment or house and saying, hey, we had a tip that you swatted this person.
But I think they do not send a SWAT team for the false colors. I think they.
No, it would probably be local enforcement, not SWAT, unless they had just a reason for sending SWAT, like, so they knew that, like, say Solicon has a history of doing this, or she's a potential threat for others around her when they take her in custody. It won't just be 2 officers in a patrol car going to get her. It might be 2 or 3 patrol cars going to get her.
Right.
But like, if somebody has some, I don't know, moral dilemma, I think he or she can always talk it through with Alora or somebody who knows better. I think, or knows situation a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean that is an option as well. But like these are things that we as keepers need to think about. Like how do the tenets apply online? How do they apply in real life? How do they apply at our work? Like these are the things that need to be thought about for those of us who are keepers.
Oh, you mean I just can't toss someone in the baler?
No,
Oh.
no, as much as I'd like to. And dang it, I had a thought and the thought just died.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I'm tired.
Sleep
so-
deprivation.
Let me pull the. Anybody else while I'm trying to regroup all the Lego pieces that are scattered in my brain about Tenet 3?
No, my marbles are out of the bag and there is no getting them back in.
I find Tenet 3 to be one of the most difficult tenets to adhere to.
It isn't. It is not the most difficult to adhere to.
I didn't say for you. I said for me.
Oh. Well, okay. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Let's see if we can find ways to help you keep to the tenant.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know we're Mandalorians and violence is fun.
I'm also Canadian. Friends. Yay.
But aren't Canadians supposed to be nice?
No, they are the reason for the Geneva Convention.
We're polite. We're not nice. There is a large distinction between the two.
Right.
Okay.
People don't understand. There's a difference between kind and nice.
I don't have a nice long couch for you to lay on, but my chair is always open.
Oh my god. So I know that there are some people who would look at Tenet 3, and so the last part, we stand ready for war, but do not seek it out. There are some who would argue the fact that you are preparing for war means you are seeking it out.
Nope. War can come to my door, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go seek it out.
To be fair, can we keep the Sundari pacifist out of the window?
Well, so I'm not saying that we are pacifists. We are not.
No, I say that the guys who say that if you are keep preparing for eventuality of war, it means that you are already seeking it. It sounds very, very like something that Satine could say.
It is true, but these are things that we do need to discuss and figure out. Like,
I think so. I'm just going to jump in here quickly. To me, it's no different than insurance. Everybody buys insurance. It's a preparation for potential things down the line, right?
So that means you're
Well, it's
expecting
the same
something
thing
bad
when
to
when you're well, I mean, inevitably, that's why you have insurance, right?
I have a really good analogy for this, and thank you, Dirge, for bringing the insurance up because it just popped into my head.
Yeah.
One of
So,
the
like when you're preparing, there's nothing wrong with preparing for bad times. There's actually something really wrong with not preparing for bad times. Sorry, I just had to
right. So one of the posts I'm seeing a lot of on social media is the post where it says no guns equal no gun violence. I saw a comment that is a perfect reply, blows it out of the water. No fire extinguishers equals no fires.
Yeah.
So you're saying because I have a fire extinguisher, there's going to be a fire in my apartment. That's essentially what that argument is.
Just being devil's advocate here. Please remember that these are not Celicons' actual beliefs and thoughts. These are just thoughts that I have been.
Give it to us.
Well, so it goes along. So that idea goes along with the same thought process of if you're wearing a plate carrier around and just walking around, you're asking for someone to fight you.
Right.
Are you though?
No plate carrier equals no violence.
So, do you know what a plate carrier is, Dodger?
No.
So, have you seen military personnel in like their? I don't even like.
It's a vest that carries an armor plate.
Okay. So
Most of the time,
anti-bullet vest. Okay.
Yeah, the bulletproof vest. Yes, that is a plate carrier.
Okay.
Basically, it's a vest that you can remove the armor plate if it's gone bad, expired, or been used, and slide in a new one.
Yes. Sorry.
She could be just talking about running around in the vest with no active plate in the carrier.
But most of the time, the thought process is if you are walking around just in a city, wherever it is, in public, and you have one on, you are telling people to fight you. It is an open invitation to fight you.
More than likely, they're going to view it as you're the one going to perpetrate the violence.
Correct. Like if law enforcement sees you, they are going to assume that you initiated the violence if they see you wearing a plate carrier.
It's like, where are you? Then that will be a legal stop, too, because they're like, okay, there's reasonable suspicion that there's going to be violence done here.
That's sick.
And they're just saying, if the Canadians have a saying, if you look hard and act hard, someone will test you.
Right. And so that is the idea of, so what do we do with Tenet 3? We're wanting to be prepared but not initiate, whereas some people would see our preparedness as initiation into violence.
Right.
How do we balance that?
Well, by explaining to other people?
That's if somebody's willing to walk up to you and talk.
Yeah, more than likely, they're just going to call law enforcement and say, hey, there's someone walking around in a plate carrier, and that's suspicious for most places.
Yeah.
You just don't call it a plate carrier, you just call it, training weights.
They're still going to call it what it is when they stop you. It's like, hey, why are you running around with a plate carrier? I'm training. Weight training. And that should...
Training for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, why can't you just carry around weights?
That would look dumb too, but yeah, no.
Because I want open hands.
But yeah, so that's the thing that, like, taking into consideration the normal person that you're going to come across is going to look at you, look at anyone who is preparing themselves for any sort of combat as someone who is initiating that combat. It is not necessarily the truth behind it, but that is how it is perceived.
Right. It is not the norm in most civilization, in most cities, to run around with armor and weapons.
It used to be. It was great. You could walk around with the saber attached to your side.
Right.
No one would bat an eye.
But social norms
And not
change.
everybody-
Back in the day, yeah.
Not in every place and not everybody. For example, in Germany, there were special laws that the people who are not highborns can not enter the city, the towns or the city with a sword.
What
they
year?
could own a long knife, but not the sword.
What year was that?
It was in Middle Ages.
Okay. I was thinking like early Middle Ages, but okay.
The Castle Age.
It sparked the whole new kind of weapon, which is constructed like knife. So, like the placement of in the hand, the way you connect the blade with the handle was made like in a knives, but it was the size of a sword.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, it did not disturb the rules in any way.
Right.
Right.
But it was a way to circumvent it so you could carry a sword.
But there were still people. It was not uncommon to walk around with some sort of
Right.
weapon for self-defense. I wish that we still lived in those times. You would think that that's kind of the case in America.
I'm not exactly. I'm not exactly okay with those times because I like the medicine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now if we could get that as a social norm in this era, that would be great.
That's what I mean.
But not physically going back to the Middle Ages where you have to deal with the plague and dysentery and all that. Yeah.
Right. But that's what I mean by having the social norm of being able to defend yourself. Because that's the idea that we in America are currently still fight. Like we're trying to hold on to that idea, but it is slowly going the way of the dodo.
Slowly.
Fighting hard. Yeah. Because people are of the mindset of if you were prepared for something to happen to you, you're asking for it. When that's a relatively new idea within civilization. That's very much like 20th century, or like late 20th century, early 21st century.
But you can get prepared to bad things, not because like in this topic with the fire extinguisher, but you cannot start fire with fire extinguisher.
No, but what that's saying is, okay, I have a fire extinguisher. I'm expecting myself to have a fire sometime.
That's
Yeah,
the mindset.
but yes, but I think it's misunderstanding the question. The saying that no gun equals non-gun violence. It's not exactly true, but I think it's more like not you are preparing for bad things, but you own the thing which could be used to start the problem.
Right.
Right.
But fire extinguisher or the plate carrier cannot be used to start problems.
And that's part of that mindset is there is no such thing as a law-abiding criminal. And these are my own views. I realize, yes, I'm the host of this podcast. I'm allowed to have my own views. These are not the views of the Keepers of the Way. Just because I own a firearm does not mean I am going to go out and commit the violence.
Yeah.
Gun laws will only hurt the people who follow them.
Well, have a little bit different look on the stuff because in most of countries in Europe, it's not it's not like it's hard to get a gun, but it's more regulated. Like
Right.
for example, in our country, most of people who has easy access to guns are hunters, and you have to make the hunter license, and then you can buy the gun.
We still have hunting licenses too, but we don't have to have that to be able to get the firearm. As a matter of fact, it's kind of the opposite. Is if you're hunting on your own property, I'm not even sure that you need one. I could be wrong. Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, if you were hunting on private property that is not your own, yes, you do need a license. And if the fish and game warden finds you hunting without a license, there's going to be trouble. Very, very heavy fines. Could be jail time.
Yeah, but in the other hand, it's when you want to get the smaller gun, like the self-protecting gun, like
The small arms, yes.
the pistol or something like that. Oh, it's much harder. We have a lot of rules about it. Even you have to have it's like the rules. It's not so hard to like. It's not so hard to get the you know
You in non-American countries, you have to have a good reason for having that firearm.
to be fair, not so much. But in our country, we have this special rules about how to uh, keep it at home. And in many cases, you cannot get a gun not because you cannot get a permit for it, but because you cannot provide the safe place to store it. Because you have to store it in the safe, like with the
A
lock
gun
and
safe,
things like
yes.
that. And because of that many people in our country live in the not so big flats with you can we do not have a place to put the safe here, for example. So this is the limitation.
So, what about a gun case? I realize you may not be able to have a safe, but you can get cases that can be locked.
I'm not sure because the case is often easy to move, and oh, it's probably it's possible for people who have very 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 good reason. But if you have just idea that you want to have something like that, but not so much good reason, you will be facing a lot of you know rules to check boxes to even have a chance.
Right. I would imagine the hunters in your country would be required to have it in a case while moving it.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
And that case would probably be required to be locked.
But but in our country we do not hunt with we hunt only with the shotguns mostly.
Right.
The
Well, yeah, and I mean, we're not hunting with our 9 mils or Glocks here either. We have rifles and shotguns. There is no pistol hunting.
and what else? Oh, you can own a gun for the reason of sport shootings. Like
Same.
Uh, but and you can store it in your club, the sports club. It's like if you want to have a horse but you do not have a ranch, you can have a horse who is living in the
Right. You can hire out a stable.
yeah, and similar with a gun, you can pay for the safe locker in the in your club, but you do not have it at home, so it's much harder to, for example, for a child to grab it.
I mean, we still have that risk here too, but there are ways of preventing that. The best one is to teach at an early age
Yeah.
that this is not a toy.
Mhm.
Yes, it is a fact, but you know, some children you can explain and explain, and they do whatever they want.
Very true.
Some children are like that. But to be fair, in our country and in many countries in Europe, we have very low number of you know, shootings or crimes made with
But it's
actual
not
guns.
zero.
Yes, but it's very very low. And
A
last
lot lower than the city to the north of me.
yeah, probably. Well, we the most things which happened here in Poland, which
I'm actually kind of
were
curious
made
now.
with usage of axe or knife or machete. They were even our local, you know, gangs and things like that. They do not attack people with a gun. They have machete, baseball bat, or their own hands only.
I own these hands.
Okay, let's see. I actually looked this up. Over the last decade, roughly 2015 to 2025, Poland has maintained one of the lowest violent crime and homicide rates in Europe. Let's see. Trying to see if I can find numbers. Okay, stable homicide rate. The overall homicide rate has stayed low and relatively flat, hovering about 0.66 to 0.74 per 100,000 people between 2014 and 2022. Let's see.
I remember that was one case in like few years, last few years, that there was a person who started small shooting, but it was in the sport club when he had his only gun, and it was like some disagreement inside this club, I believe. So yeah, there was something like that. But most of the cases, it's like totally different, you know, weapon of the use. There was a one person who who murdered his wife and tried to blur the case by blowing up.
Okay, I cannot read this. Dodrel, I'm going to share my screen real quick because I cannot read this. It's in Polish.
Maybe you can send me a link and I can check it out.
Well, that's why I was going to share my screen so you could see what I was looking at.
Okay, so I will see if I can read it, if the letters are big enough. Okay, so.
Okay, so I understand the bottom. That's years. ROK. That means year.
It's a relation between the number of killings, murders, and number of given permission for owning a gun. So the red one, the red scale on the left is a number of murders.
Okay.
The blue one is on the right is a number of given permits for owning a gun.
So why is it like negative 0.03 to, or is that just saying 0.3 to 1, not negative?
Oh, I'll have to see it for one moment. It's very small still. I have to move closer to see it.
Let me see if I can.
Zielone też zarejestrowane były.
See if I can open it to a bigger screen. There we go.
Okay, it's easier. I think it's not an actual. Oh, I'm not sure it's a number of new permits of all the.
This is for the years between 2019 and 2024, so a 5-year span.
I'm not sure why it say -1.
I don't think that's minus. I think that might just be.
Oh, the point, I know, the start, start for the line, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's for the number of, people, maybe?
Where's my phone?
But you have these lines here, and the blue line, with the dots, the on the graph you have this blue line, and it shows the number of the permits. It's growing up between 19 and
Right. At 2019, it's less than 0.3 of the population, and by 2024, it's almost. I'm assuming that's percentage of population,
yeah,
where it's 0.3%, 0.4% of the population
yes.
in 2024.
The green line says how many registered guns are in country.
Now, is this by millions, or is this literally just 100, 200, 300? Not 100 million, 200 million?
I'm not sure. I should found the source.
I can send that to you.
Yeah, but it's on the website here, but it's coming from somewhere, and I wanted to know from who put this graph together.
It's a post by someone's r/Europe Guns 5 months ago.
Well, maybe Catherine will know more about it, I believe, but he is now occupied.
All good.
But we can.
There we go. I have sent it to you.
The yellow line was a number of murders made with usage of the gun. The yellow one.
So it looks like that has actually gone down since 2019. Just a little bit, but
Yeah,
Excuse me.
it could be a fluctuation, normal fluctuation, because
Right.
it's so low that it's really hard.
Now
to
let me
gauge
see.
what's down here.
Jen, back up.
So having it heavily regulated has some, some good things. To be fair, we have a few situations when one hunter shot somebody with a gun during the hunt. For example, because we have the hunting clubs can hunt in the communal forests, and there was a time they should put the announcement that in those days it will be hunting on this area, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes few hunters just gather around and go hunting in the communal forest without putting it together, putting this announcement, and there was few accidents that they shot somebody just walking through the woods.
Okay, so here's the numbers for Memphis, Tennessee, since 2020. Excuse me, guys. I got the mic right before that sneeze. Whew. So, since 2020, in 2020, there were 293 intentional homicides, which was 45 per 100,000. So it's the same 100,000 that we were talking about with Poland. Not obviously the same 100,000 people.
Yeah.
2021, that increased to 307, which was basically 2 more people per 100,000. Dropped down to 253 in 2022, and it jumped up to 351 in 23. Yeah, let's see. Memphis had the highest violent crime of 100,000 plus population cities, with 2,501 violent crimes per 100,000 residents in 24. Yeah, Memphis is the crime capital of Tennessee, the state.
Memphis is also just a cesspool of luck.
Okay, it's gotten better.
Oh.
And that's not because the National Guard was called in. It's been getting better slowly. I will admit the Guard being up there probably has put a stop to quite a bit more because of their presence. But we've also had Homeland up there. We've had the THP with a higher presence in the state. It's not just because the Guard is up there. We've had the focus of the government on us. Of course there's going to be less crime. That doesn't mean it's going to go away.
Well, bad people will be bad everywhere.
Exactly. And the second they go away, well, guess what?
It's meant they go somewhere else, but they are still there.
Right. And Jodrick, that is correct. What Dodrell is saying is wanting to say even without guns, there will always be violence is why we need to be prepared. Doesn't matter whether it's going to be the good old fisticuffs, a blade of some kind, the pew-pews, the Treshores. Preparation and preparedness is key. And apparently the dog agrees. Okay. Point an example. I don't have her to be a guard dog, but that's the job she does. Yeah. Get over here. Hey. Yeah, they know we're here. Good job. You are the reason Daddy's gonna be unalived in apocalypse. I love my dog to death, I really do. But I got a feeling in the apocalypse, whether it's zombie or nuclear or whatever, the dog will be the death of me. Because she is trying to protect her daddy. And she's gonna alert people, oh, there's somebody here. They will have food and weapons.
No, not exactly, because
Friend?
You can hear the dog.
That's, yeah. Sorry, Dodrell.
She can also lure people to you, but if you know...
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. She is gonna lure them to my door, and now I have to defend what I have left. Or, God forbid, the dinosaurs actually do come back. She's gonna be barking at them to go away, and it's like, ooh, there's food here.
Will not bring back the dinosaurs.
We have had 6 or 7 movies now saying why that is a bad idea.
But hey, some people still say, yes, they had it wrong, though. I have it right.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we need to be genetically splicing to make more entertaining and dangerous dinosaurs.
I can assure you that scientifically it's impossible. It simply is not possible to bring them back.
They will find a way.
But it is possible to change the birds to be more similar to dinosaurs again. This is possible, but they will be more like birds, but in the mind of a bird, but inside a dinosaur body.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the podcast, but we will stay in the Discord and chat about this. So we are actually at an hour, so it actually is time to wrap up the live. We appreciate everyone who came in for the recording of this episode, whether it was in the Discord call or on our social medias. We appreciate and love every single one of you that popped in. If you would like to learn more about the Way of the Keepers, we have all of our social medias have the QR code and link trees that will lead you to the Keepers' social medias. If you would like to join the recording, you are more than welcome. The more the merrier, the better conversations we have. Ooh, those were dark days where it was just me. Let's not have those again. Please. I don't like talking to myself. I'm not good company. So yes, follow the social medias. And until next time, I have been Kadali Kabor, your host. See you on the other side. Ibik Rooney.
Hey, Big Green!
Hey, Rooney!